Don't let your strong with muscle be your goddamn Twitter flavor. Watch that, man. Put your shit together, man. I'm over it. So red. Over it. So red. Coming on this bitch real fresh, bulletproof, high shoe, bitch. You better wear your vest. Try to get some off her chest with a drip on the habit of mess. I'm a real bitch, profit on this one, nighttime shit. I'm a beast. I like, get it up, baby, eat it. Get it up, baby, eat it. I walk with my pole in the state that I got up a ton. I walk around with a lot of blaze, I little rip on it. Tonight it's a ride, I got a show, I show it, and niggas still eating it. UPK niggas winning, UPK niggas get it. I had a little money, but I lost a little money when it popped that time. Now I get paid off passion, so put it right there, I stunt. All nigga wanna hear put straight on the face, boy, low is time. I don't hate being around broke minds, I wanna get their ass in their grind. Yeah, and that's a real ass nigga too cheap. Talking the flesh, I'ma eat my plate so good, I'ma let a little bit while the dish. And I'ma beat down your block so rich, top off, you'll feel that leg. I went to another bitch house, cause that bitch ain't clean up the kitchen. And I ain't saying no names, give a goddamn shit, let that motherfucker learn. I left my phone unlocked, woke up, bitch had a damn chalkboard in front. Wanna know who it is, who the fuck is that bitch, I ain't telling no business. And I bought another motherfucking chopper, and that big gang with some haters, but hey, I'm over it. Pass over it. I'm over it. Pass over it, nigga. I'm over it. Pass over it. I'm over it. Pass over it, nigga. I pass over it. My money coming steady. I'ma rock up my good talk. Hey, the women looking good. Got them white cross out trying to see who got good talk. South Carolina, where them 5 thick women, they better know how to cook up. Hey, never say the bitch from scratch. That'll keep a nigga, on stop. I be in Atlanta with the hitters, zone 6 rockin' with a nigga. Had a nigga walk up to a G, but couldn't get past my security. Yeah, Aqualot, that's my dog already, and the police too official. Niggas in the world traumatized, tryna buy a clip off a nigga. But we gon' keep the shows coming, keep these hoes run the hill for a change, he'll fly. But I gotta keep my fly slide on me, cause these nat bitches lying. I'm in North Carolina doing real big shit, I been got new ties. If you ain't round broke, boy, you tired. But me and my niggas, yeah, pass over ready, pass over ready. Overrated, pass overrated, nigga. Pass overrated, pass overrated, overrated, pass overrated, nigga. That's the pass overrated, man. Mixtape, EP, whatever you wanna call it. I'm beating y'all more. Y'all run this shit up, man. Do this shit for the Lord, man. Pass overrated, man. UPK South Carolina, man. Shaw 2G. Come on, I see you, nigga. Come on.
Let's get right to it, dog. You know it's raw. Well, let me catch you if you're showing off. I wanted to get you, I hold it off. Thought he was solid, but told it off. Running the field with the underdogs. Don't want to get involved. I can admit it, I know what it's coming. I'm tripping, I got every group. Niggas a fumble a bag. I get to the cash fast, got a salute. I've been a hustler. Look how I'm coming up. You running your mouth, better run it up. I'm running this shit like a big dog. Living my movie, they pissed off. Pushing the law, cause we in charge. They gon' play this in the synagogues. How do I feel? I'm feeling great. Bigger the problem, the bigger the plate. Making my move, that shit gotta wait. Ahead of my time, keep it in line. Put on their face. I just learned to keep it all to myself. Wait, a couple of niggas that hang with me, that'll bang for me. If I'm doing bad, never change on me.
We the salt of the earth. We the motherfucking underdogs. We underestimated. You understand what I'm saying?
I got tunnel vision. There's a bunch of ways I'm gonna get it. It's my way or the highway. You ain't fucking with it. Do what I say or go about your fucking business and take this money with you. I ain't dealing with no fucking children. If they not my own, going by myself. I'ma die alone. These bitches catch my weight and more just hopping on. They hear what I make, it starts to turn them on. I think it's sorcery, the way they rob the bone, the black magic stick. They stopping by my home when I'm not even home. I'd rather be alone so I can conquer shit and I can see it wrong. I just keep popping shit cause I won't be here long. I'm hopping on the road and get my diesel long. She wanna drop it low and get her eagle on. My new bitch bad as fuck. She look like Nia Long. I came up from the dirt, was born right under y'all. And just like I don't want, said I just want to ball. These niggas season new, I watch them leave and fall. The last gon' finish first, cause we some underdogs.
They say the first shall be last, the last shall be first. Nigga, we know who is kingdom, nigga.
Ride to the sunset, slide to the moonfall. Dos all said ghetto, then I got him, that's my doggy dog. Don't bark, gotta mean bite, we them underdogs. Over off the wire, 5 yards, I'm pressing all of y'all. 9 niggas up like I'm director from a cat call. I don't give a fuck, you want beef, neck to all of y'all. UPK Prince, lace up boost, and it's time to ball. The clip name Wendy, all these shells, I'ma let them fall. Niggas claim they better than, like who they think they better than. One West Soldier, best believe we got that metal in. Last name Cannon, cause I still got them comers in. Kept us at that trapper, hell yeah, I'ma let them know. Underdog, you niggas tripping. We'll be popping on you sniffing. Real crafty with that smithing. Locked in on the mission. Rocking all out. Who the type to hop out? You be bitching, caught the crew time. Now the Glock. Glitch it, nigga.
Yeah, don't have messed up, no. Bad news is to beat your home, nigga. Yeah. Go on, get on that ass real quick one time. 144, baby. Run that shit up, Trey.
They said you get on, you gon' represent. I said, of course. Soon as they trade that beat, I ride that bitch just like a horse. She about to go dumb, yeah, bitch, me a whole car. You ain't know they call me Obi-Wan. I come with the force. You gon' ride, yeah, of course. Get it lit up like a torch. You even low on this Lord, so that bitch is either or. Yeah, I know them niggas ain't cut like that. I swear I'm too hardcore. Wait up, let me make a call right quick. I'ma start another war. I was hurting when she left, but I don't care about anymore. I need a Vaseline like my Nina Puffer bar. Took a Zach, watch the dark. Matter of fact, like a dart. Any problem, let them come. We gon' snatch they soul like Shang Tsung. Put them out of service, keep them tools like Miss Harper. Try to hope it's way too late. I'm headed straight to the safe. Throw that one up like a trophy. I'm that nigga, ain't no debate. Throw them boys, we taking no. Call them up like Saturday. This shit a piece of cake. Yeah, my bitches came from Whole Foods. Told them put on that top 3. Then bring me my house shoes. Don't make excuses, make moves. These niggas ungrateful, gotta show them UPK rules. I make hits like I can't lose. They said you get on, you gon' represent. I said of course. Soon as they trade that beat, I ride that bitch just like a horse. She about to go dumb, yeah, bitch, the whole court. You ain't know they call me Obi-Wan. I come with the force. You gon' ride, yeah, of course. Get it lit up like a torch. You even low on this Lord, so that bitch is either or. Yeah, I know them niggas ain't cut like that. I swear I'm too hardcore. Yeah, I just got off the call. I'ma start another war. Spit a plate up with my niggas, get your knife and your fork. They ain't locked in with the count and when you speaking to me fart. Yeah, I just took the floor. Ain't no cowards in my campaign. They can't stop the campaign. Tell them bring the champagne. They know I'm a champion. They can see the outcome. Get them niggas bad, got them tied down and outdone. You can't do with them steppers. Niggas been down since day one. We run up the bands, bitch like Dylan. They say you get on, you gon' represent. I said of course. Soon as they trade that beat, I read that bitch just like a horse. Yeah, about to go dumb, yeah, bitch, we whole cart. You ain't know they call me Obi-Wan. I come with the force. You gon' ride, yeah, of course. Get it lit up like a torch. You either low or this low, so that bitch is either or. I told you niggas, you ain't cut like that. I swear I'm too hardcore. And I just made it go. We gon' start another war. Yeah. Give me more. I too much don't like none of these niggas. I too much don't like none of these hoes. Little bit won't fight for the dick. But I got more bitches, no. They wanna talk down just to see me. They got me all up on gold. She asked I got Molly for this one. Once it started coming out of clothes, damn.
Happy Thanksgiving, America. I'm Donna, and I'm here with my friends to tell you the real history behind this holiday. Growing up, I knew that what they told you in school about Thanksgiving wasn't true. That's not the true story. The true story behind Thanksgiving was, after every killing of a whole village, these European settlers celebrated it, and they called it Thanksgiving. But it wasn't until Abraham Lincoln became president that it became an official holiday.
He ordered 38 Dakota men to be hung for war crimes.
After the sacred holiday Christmas,
we take this time to remember our elders who lost their lives due to what really happened. Usually my mom makes a Native American dish for us and we pray.
Growing up, I would be kind of annoyed that they didn't know what actually happened on Thanksgiving and that they're actually celebrating the deaths of many people and many tribes that were lost.
Whether it's to give thanks or to be with your family, you should learn how the holiday was established in the first place.
I'm thankful for being born indigenous to this continent.
I'm thankful that I still have my culture.
I'm thankful that my elders kept our culture alive all these years.
I'm thankful to be indigenous, resilient, and alive.
I'm thankful for us all to be able to stand together, stand strong, and stand as one.
Happy Thanksgiving, America.
We all know the famous story of Thanksgiving. The picture-perfect.
Happy Thanksgiving, America. I'm Donna, and I'm here with my friends to tell you the real history behind this holiday. Growing up, I knew that what they told you in school about Thanksgiving wasn't true. That's not the true story. The true story behind Thanksgiving was, after every killing of a whole village, these European settlers celebrated it, and they called it Thanksgiving. But it wasn't until Abraham Lincoln became president that it became an official holiday.
He ordered 38 Dakota men to be hung for war crimes.
After the sacred holiday Christmas,
we take this time to remember our elders who lost their lives due to what really happened. Usually my mom makes a Native American dish for us and we pray.
Growing up, I would be kind of annoyed that they didn't know what actually happened on Thanksgiving and that they're actually celebrating the deaths of many people and many tribes that were lost.
Whether it's to give thanks or to be with your family, you should learn how the holiday was established in the first place.
I'm thankful for being born indigenous to this continent.
I'm thankful that I still have.
All right, Shalom Israel. We are the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Started out of Warren West, 121st Street, Harlem, New York, under commanding Junior Hunter. And since 1969, we teach so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. You are the Israelites according to the Bible. And we ain't affiliated with no fake Israelite group, no Christian groups, nobody. What we do in this school is teach the truth according to the Bible. You understand? The truth. And you ain't gonna get that truth from nobody else besides the ISUPK. All right, with that being said, this is law classes. What we do in this school is teach laws. The laws, the statutes, and commandments all throughout the Bible. So if you a so-called black man, Hispanic man, or even an Indian man, you are considered an Israelite according to the Bible. And all the laws that God gave you, you're supposed to be following. Now I know you don't know how because why? Nobody's ever taught you, which is why we do here in the ISBK. We have these law classes to teach you what laws you're supposed to follow. You know, things you can't do. You know, things you can eat, can't eat. Things you can celebrate, can't celebrate. You know, and etc. So always tune in and make sure you're watching all these law classes, all right? Every Wednesday from 7 p.m. Eastern time and until now. If you was watching that intro, you already know what we finna talk about, all right? You was watching those Native Indian sisters, you know, talking about how they feel about Thanksgiving. You already know what we finna get into. We finna talk about Thanksgiving, all right? The topic of today's class is the Lord hates Thanksgiving, and so should you. All your life, you've been hearing about love this, love that, you know, love everything. In the Bible, it's not all about love, though. You know, love everything is not real. That's not reality. You know, and how can you even love everything and don't hate anything that abuses what you love? You know, Christianity, it's just fantasy. It's impossible to love every single thing. And we're the only people that's always told that. We're the only people on this planet Earth that's always been told to just love, 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 and forgive. We need to be hating something. We need to be hating at something. We need to be hating the things that goes against us. And Thanksgiving is something that was against us. Instead of hating it, we love it. We're going to talk about that in today's class. So I got an article we're going to read. We're going to read a little article, and we're going to read some scriptures. So we're going to go ahead and jump into it. So the first scripture we're going to get, lock it. Let's go to 1 Corinthians chapter 8 and verse 7. Chapter 8 and verse 7. All right. As a matter of fact, let's go ahead and start. Let's start at verse 4. All right, this is 1 Corinthians chapter 8 and verse 4, and it reads, as concerning, therefore, the eating of those things that are offered and sacrificed unto idols, we know that an idol is nothing in the world, and that there is none other God but one. So this is speaking on eating things that pertains to serving idols. You understand? Now, if you in the truth, you know that, you know, food is just food. But if you're not in the truth, or you new coming into the school, you do know that it's certain holidays in America where you eat certain foods on certain days, such as Thanksgiving and such as Christmas. So we know in the school ain't no idols. It's only one God. So we not eating no food that pertains to any idol. Not in here. All right, verse 5. For though there be that are called gods of, whether in heaven or on earth. Verse 6, but to us there is but one God, the Father, of whom are all things, and we in him, and one Lord, Christ, by whom are all things, and we by him. We know ain't no idols. You know, we know who we worship. We worship Yahushua and our Father, the Most High. Verse 7, howbeit there is not in every man that knowledge. So not everybody has that same knowledge. And what is the knowledge? The laws, the statutes, and commandments. Everybody doesn't have that. What you have, if you want this truth. Let's keep reading. For some with conscience of the idol unto this hour eat it as a thing offered unto an idol. Their conscience being weak is defiled. All right. So let's start that over. It says, for some with the conscience of the idol. So if you have the conscience of the idol, what are you doing on Thanksgiving? You're going to eat the food people serve you at Thanksgiving. And it says their conscience being weak is defiled. So we all know food is just food. You know what I'm saying? See, it's not the food that's the sin, because it's not unlawful to eat food. The celebration is the sin. You have the conscience of the idol. You just celebrating Thanksgiving because a white man taught you to do it. Little do you know the guy hates this, how he hates this holiday. But because you have the conscience of the idol, you eat that food. Now your conscience being weak is defiled. Verse 8. But meat commanded us not to God, for neither if we eat are we the better, neither if we eat not are we the worse. Like I said, Food is just food. What's the difference of me in its truth eating turkey on this day and you in the world eating it? Food is just food, right? Let's keep reading. But take heed lest by any means this liberty of yours become a stumbling block to them that are weak. So, for example, say you coming into the school, right? You in the truth, and you're eating fried chicken or whatever the hell they eat on Thanksgiving. And a brother is confused. He's asking you, why are you eating that? And so you know it's just food. It's just food. You ain't celebrating Thanksgiving. But that brother, that can be confusing because his conscience is weak. So don't let this be a stumbling block. You know what I'm saying? Don't let this be a stumbling block. What you should do is just not eat this food at all. And this is, and it says that as we read further down. So let's go to verse 10. For if any man see that which has knowledge sit at meat in the idol's temple, shall not the conscience of him which is weak be emboldened to eat those things which are offended to idols? You see how it says, for if any man see? So let's say, for example, you in the truth or whatever, and your family probably do this every year. No, mine do. They call you like, come over, come eat. It'd be like 2 days before the Thanksgiving though, or a day after Thanksgiving. You know what I'm saying? So because to them it's not the same day, they're like, yeah, come over and eat. Come eat with us, whatever. Say if somebody sees you that knows you in the school, they know you don't celebrate Thanksgiving, and they see you sit at this dinner table. Is it wise for you to sit at this dinner table? You knowing that you don't celebrate Thanksgiving, but what do other people think of that though? That don't know what you know or don't understand because they have a weak conscience. Verse 11, and through that knowledge should that weak brother perish for whom Christ died. You will make things less confusing for that brother that don't understand this if you just don't eat the food. If you don't go to a family member's house and sit at that table during Thanksgiving week or whatever. Verse 12, for when ye sin so against a brother and wound their weak conscience, ye sin against Christ. If you are wounding a brother's weak conscience, you are sinning against Christ. For example, if you are eating Thanksgiving food, right? Just eating the food, that brother will become confused because we don't celebrate Thanksgiving. So why the hell are you eating this food? It's just food though, right? So like I said, the food ain't the problem, it's the celebration. But you can do making this less confusing. Just don't eat the food at all. Don't celebrate this thing at all. On this same exact day, Thanksgiving Day, don't partake in any of that. Verse 13, wherefore, if meat make my brother to offend, I will not eat no flesh while the word standeth, lest I make my brother to offend. And this is how Native Indian brothers and sisters feel about us celebrating Thanksgiving. You understand? This is how all of them, most of them, feel about us eating this food and celebrating. To us, we just getting together, family, to this, but this is a day they mourn, though. This is a day of mourning for them. So eating this food, man, it offends our brothers and it also confuses our brothers, especially if you pertain to be a man of God. You understand? So I want to read that first. Salagi. What you understand coming to the ISBK that we stand on brotherhood. Everything is about brotherhood in this school. Without brotherhood, be nothing. So we don't want to do anything, misinform our brothers. We love our Hispanic brothers. We love our Native Indian brothers. So, elf Thanksgiving. We're not celebrating Thanksgiving. And it's just straight like that. So what we going to do, man, I kind of want to talk about, I read this talk about family, the first part. We're going to talk about family. Because if when you first join this school, that first year is always the hardest when you're dealing with your family. It's people you ain't talked to in years. The first day you don't celebrate a holiday, whatever, they blowing up your phone. Why you not doing this? Why you not doing that? You ain't talked to this nigga in years. Because you're not celebrating a white man holiday, it's World War III. So we're gonna talk about that kind of spirit first, man. We're gonna go to Salakia. Let's go to Matthew chapter 10. Matthew chapter 10. And verse, we're gonna start at verse 32. And verse 32. So I get verse 34. And it reads, think not, this is Matthew chapter 10 and verse 34. Think not that I come to send peace on earth. I came not to send peace, but a sword. Christ ain't came to send no peace. You understand? What you see in Christian church is that's not what Christ is. He's not coming for that. He ain't coming with no tambourines. He's not coming to play, dance, and sing with none of y'all. He said he coming with a sword. What do you use a sword for? What is sword using for? A sword today would be a gun. That's what that would be today. What do you do with weapons? You harm people. You unalive people. You destroy things with that. It's a reason he got to come do that. Because look what we doing now here today on earth. This is not the rulership of, this is not what the kingdom of heaven looks like right now. This is the heaven for the white man. This is hell for blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. All right, so for you to think that Christ will come to this place and be happy, you out of your mind. Look at our conditions. We're celebrating a day of slaughter of our brothers, and they still on reservation to this day. When I was in school, we actually learned about the true history of Thanksgiving up to my maybe 6th grade year. Shout out to Miss Stearns. I had a sister, she was a teacher, and she ain't play. She taught us about Emmett Till, all that. And I thank her for that because, kids today ain't learning the real history about any of this stuff. I think Thanksgiving was a day about, Native Indians gathering with white people and they, with the British soldiers and the English soldiers, and they just laughed and danced and all that. It's not what it's about. It's the exact opposite. But just understand that when Christ comes, he ain't coming with he's not coming with peace and happiness. He coming with a sword. And you got to think like that spiritually too. You always got to go to war, whether it's with your demons, with yourself. You got to always battle and fight until the end. You always going to have to fight every single day. You got to keep going. Verse 35. And I say that this also say, man, Christ wasn't no sucker. He wasn't effeminate. Christian church made Christ to just be soft and gentle and sweet and all that. Nah, Christ was a real nigga. He was from the hood, the trenches. The Lord said, he's a man of, God is a man of war. Christ wasn't a soft man. You know what I'm saying? So let's go to verse 35. It reads, for I come to set a man at variance against his father, and a daughter against her mother, and a daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. So what is he doing here? Is he coming to join everybody together, or is he coming to separate you from your family? He separate the daughter against her mother, the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. What else he gonna do? Verse 36. And a man's foe should be of his own household. This heavy right here. And I know every man, majority of the brothers in the school go through this. And if you ain't went through it now, you probably gonna go through it. You know what I mean? The people of your own household are gonna be your enemies. You understand? So what does that mean? Like, let's say let's just talk about Thanksgiving since it's tomorrow, right? For example, you come into this school, and I know a lot of brothers going through this right now in the world. You watching classes, whatever. You hit the school up, you start running out black. You doing what you got to do. You're trying to change your life. You zealed up. So the first thing you do when you learn everything you learn here in this school, the first thing you do is go teach your family, your wife, your children, and you're expecting them to feel the same way about it like you do. I got bad news for you. They not. They gonna hate you. They gonna hate whatever you're talking about. They not gonna listen to you. And they gonna want to keep, sinning and doing other things. you know, and it's only two things you can do. You can say forget that and keep moving forward, or you can just, you know, when that pressure comes, you can fold under pressure and, you know, stop going to school, stop watching classes. That's what a lot of brothers do. That's why you don't see a lot of brothers in here, because of their families. This is what Christ says. He that love his father or mother more than me is not worthy of me. You ain't worthy of him. You know, your own people in your household are going to be against everything you're learning in this school, because that's what Christ wants to happen. You know what I mean? You got to understand that. When Christ's brother and mother came to him, he looked at them and said, y'all not my family. The brothers around me, this is my family. You know, so one thing you can do if you are going through that, look, you gotta stand for something. This is one thing, and I'm gonna talk about this a little bit more later on in class. As black people, black men, we don't stand for anything. We gotta stop folding when stuff get confused and when stuff get hard. You gotta stand on everything you teaching. So yeah, when when your family get home tonight, tell them we not celebrating Thanksgiving. We not doing it. Don't bring no dressing in my house, no turkey in my house. Don't bring none of it. If you bring this food in my house, I'm throwing it away. Do not come in here celebrating Thanksgiving. We ain't doing it this year. And you gotta stand on it. Because your wife can go downstairs, she gonna start cooking food anyway. Your son, your daughter, they ready to eat that food. No, throw out that food away. You gotta celebrate things. I told y'all, we ain't doing this. Christmas come. We're not celebrating Christmas this year. They think you playing that Christmas tree. You see that? You see you coming home from work, working a long shift. You see that tree in the living room? Throw the tree in the garbage can. Them presents, throw all the presents outside. You got to stand on this, because you won't be respected. And this is why other nations don't respect us as a nation. You know what I mean? Let's drop this. Let's go to Deuteronomy 32:7 while I'm talking about this. We don't stand for anything. And that's why nobody respect us. Your woman don't respect you. Your children don't. They don't take you serious. You say things, nobody listens to you, because look at how you move. If you saying that we're not gonna do this, you really gotta not do it. They gotta see you not doing. They gotta see you not getting high. They gotta see you not smoking. They gotta see you not celebrating Thanksgiving. You ain't eating leftovers on the low. You ain't doing none of that, because we don't stand for anything. Is why we in this oppression. All right, I'm gonna read this right here. This is Deuteronomy 32:7. It reads, remember the days of old, consider the years of many generations. Ask our father, and he will show thee thy elders, and they will tell thee. As a nation, we don't do this. You know, how can you be prideful? How can you take pride of being who you are when you don't even remember the days of old? That's backwards as hell. Every other nation on earth remembers everything they've been through hundreds of years ago. They honor their ancestors. We don't honor our ancestors. So, of course, Thanksgiving is a joke to us. It's just whatever to us. Why? Because we don't honor our ancestors. Because we forgot the days of old. The Lord says, remember the days of old. You know, remember what? Take heed to anything that's ever happened to you and yours. You know what? The Jewish man is going to be, he's going to remember the Holocaust. Lord allow Christ come back before then, but let's just say it can be year 2085. You ain't gonna see a Jewish man driving a German car. It's not happening. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna see, it can be 2085. Guess what? 9/11 is still gonna be a federal holiday. It can be 2085. Guess what? 4th of July ain't going nowhere. So you think all these holidays we celebrate is new or something? This stuff ain't new. Halloween been here since what? The Romans and the Greeks, the empire, when they ruled the world. Everything we celebrate is not new under the sun. We've been doing this stuff. And that lets you know what? The white man takes pride in who he is. He honors his ancestors because what? He still keeps every tradition that he's been that he had thousands of years ago. And who are the dumb idiots following him? We are. Because we don't stand for nothing. That's why everybody take us as a joke. You know what I mean? Something happened to us. We go march in the street for a week, whatever. We go back inside the house and live like the white man is telling us to live. No, let's not celebrate these days no more. You know, forget Thanksgiving. We ain't doing it. We ain't buying no turkeys. We're not buying no dressing. We're not doing none of that. We're not doing Christmas either. And when we get to that level, guess what? These other nations are going to see, whoa. They ain't playing no more. They not joking. They going to know that we know we Israelites now. You understand what I'm saying? And also, think about all the money that we lose celebrating these holidays. It don't mean nothing for us. All the money, I mean, you going down there bankrupt to buy the turkey and the food and all that stuff. Don't get me started on Christmas. You doing all this unnecessary stuff for no reason because it's so-called about family. When you have 364 days in the year to celebrate with your family. You know, it's just a dumb excuse that we always been using for years. You know, your Christian pastor is the one to really blame. How many of y'all went to church this weekend and there was a sermon about Thanksgiving? I rest my case. But this Christian, I just want to bring this out, you know, to tell you, like, man, we gotta start getting serious. We gotta start being serious, man. We ain't serious. So what about it? Everybody laugh at us. You know, these East Indians, the Chinese, man, the nations, they come to America, and I've never seen a Chinese neighborhood. I've never seen an East Indian neighborhood, or even with an African state. Never. And I'm in the South. You know, it could be different in the North or on the West Coast. But the moral of the story is that other nations come to this place, but they're still separate. They don't correlate with America. They don't celebrate America's holidays. They're not Christians. They don't vote. They come here, leave their country, and come here, and they're still in their country spiritually. Just because we live here don't mean we got to be Americans. The Chinese man is not celebrating Thanksgiving. He ain't doing that because he's serious. He keeps all his traditions and his cultures. You know, he stays to himself. He goes to your neighborhood. He get rich off you. Go back home. Don't talk to nobody. Don't get into American politics. None of that because he's serious. These heathen nations are serious and we not. And that's why we on the bottom of the barrel. It's time to get serious, all right? So let's drop there right there. So like, let's get Amos chapter 5 and verse 21. Amos 5 and 21. All right, this is Amos chapter 5 and verse 21, and it reads, I despise your feast days. Let's just stop right there. That word hate, you know, Christians don't even believe that word hate is even in the Bible. The word hate is in the Bible a lot. You know, like I said earlier in the class, you know, you got to have both. You got to have love and hate. You know, Ecclesiastes, the 3rd chapter, you know, the Lord tells you it's going to be a time to love. And it's going to be a time to hate too. You got to hate things as well. You can't just love everything because what happens when you love everything? You get ran over. You know what I'm saying? Like you say you got a friend or whatever, constantly is snaking you, you know, doing things behind your back. And you just keep going to him or her. They're going to just keep running over you. You can't just love. You can't. And that's our relationship with our oppressor. We just love him. It's like we can't hate the person that's unallowing us and oppressing us. It don't make any sense. But the Lord said he hates Thanksgiving. He hates our feast days. You understand? If the Lord hates Thanksgiving, why do we celebrate it? Why is Christian pastors teaching this inside the church? If the Lord hates it. And this is a scripture they never going to read. They're going to beat around the bush. They never going to read it. It also says, I will not smell in your solemn assemblies. all that food cooking in the kitchen, the Lord ain't smelling it. See, your problem is you want to correlate everything with God. You want to correlate everything in the world and try to mix it with God. Nah, that's not what it is. That's exactly what Christianity is. You want to correlate all the white man holidays with the Bible. That's Christianity. And I said this at camp last week. You know, if you, we all know we were Christians doing slavery, right? You know, if we are still Christians to this day, we are still slaves. You know, how does that not make any sense? Whatever we was taught during slavery, and we still do it to this day with no chains on our neck, mean that we still slaves. We still dogs on a leash. That leash is like it's mentally. You're mentally enslaved. Those chains around your neck is now in your mind because you do or been doing everything our oppressor has taught us since slavery. He ain't gotta, you know, have us in chains no more in the fields. We're doing everything he wants us to do, which makes us slaves, man. You got to understand Christianity is not inside the Bible. When you go to church, you gotta ask yourself, why the hell is it a sermon about Halloween? And when I was sitting in church at a younger age, you know, I was confused about that. I thought Halloween was about scary stuff, spooky stuff, you know, monsters and ghosts. Why the hell be having a trunk or treat in a church parking lot? You know what I mean? Why is it a sermon about the 4th of July? You know, those are questions you got to ask yourself. Why are you going to church? Why the hell are we doing the things we doing? This stuff ain't in the Bible. This stuff was made by the oppressor, which means what? If you're teaching us how to live like the oppressor, that means Christianity is not in the Bible. You understand? Neither is Thanksgiving. Let's go to next verse. Verse 22. Though ye offer me burnt offerings and your meat offerings, I will not accept them. Neither will I regard the peace offerings of your fat beasts. The Lord is not accepting them chitlins you eating. What else the hell to eat? Dressing, chicken, whatever you eating on that day, he ain't accepting any of it. Or that peace offering. And let's be real. Every time you celebrate Thanksgiving, somebody finna fight. It's gonna be a fight. Your drunk uncle gonna get to arguing with your cousin. Your dad gonna jump in. You know what I'm saying? Your cousin gonna pull the gun out. This happens every Thanksgiving. You know, somebody is arguing about something and ruin it for everybody. And most high in Christ for that. Because it's supposed to happen. Because what you're doing is not in the Most High. Verse 23. Take thou away from me the noise of thy songs, for I will not hear the melody of thy vows, even your music. He ain't listening to your music. He not smelling that food. He just straight up hate all your feast days. Now we can sit here and talk about the reasoning. You know, I know a lot of y'all have a long hard time with this. You too caught up in the reason. Well, what's the reason we can't celebrate this? What's this? What's that? Why we can't do this and why we can't do that? Because God said not to. It's the only thing you need to understand about these days. He said don't do it. He said he hate them. That's it. You know, I'm gonna bring all this history out just to let you to aware you of what this day came from. But at the end of the day, this goes against God. So stop doing it. And that's every law. Don't break these laws because God said don't break them. That's all. That's all should be running through your head. Not a reason, not a why. You got to stop asking the Most High why. You got to just do it. You got to just do it. You know, and I know a lot of people in the world, they think we are crazy. Like my family, you know, they think I'm just at home lonely all the time and, you know, somewhere in the corner, balled up, crying because I ain't celebrating Thanksgiving. Little do people in the world know, nigga, we kick it all the time. All these high holidays we got, you know, we having fun all the time. We come together as a family all the time. And I'm talking about the ISBK. Every time, you know, you link up with the brothers and sisters, it's a movie. We kick and listen to music. You know, we might drink a little bit, go out. We don't need the white man holidays to come together. You do. And that's the problem, and that's what makes us slaves. It's like if you don't celebrate high holy days, you're never gonna see your family. And I know that's true because you're going through that right now. If you in this truth, you ain't seen your family. You ain't seen your family in a minute. It's been a long time because you don't do what America is telling you to do. And that's something that us in the world, we just can't do. We can't do things on our own. We got to have the oppressor walking our hands, holding our hands to do stuff. Nah, man, we look, in the IHBK, we a family. We always doing stuff together. Even when it's not mandatory. On these high holidays, you got to come together. It's mandatory. But even besides that, we always getting together. All right, let's get Leviticus chapter 23. All right, this is Leviticus chapter 23 in verse 1, and it reads, "And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying," verse 2, "speaking to the children of Israel and saying to them, concerning the feast of the Lord, which ye shall proclaim to be holy convocations, even these are my feasts." So, this scripture right here is where you find all the high holy days of the Bible. You find the Feast of Unleavened Bread, the Passover, which is going to be in Atlanta, Georgia this year. You know what I'm saying? The Day of Atonement, the Memorial of Blowing Trumpets, the Feast of Tabernacles, the Feast of Dedication is going to be on December 25th this year. So we have our own high holidays. It's no reason, and this is why it's not hard at all to lead the world. We got our own stuff. We got our own culture. And I take pride of doing these things because it makes me me. I take pride in celebrating what the Lord gave to me. It makes me an Israelite. You know what I'm saying? We all take pride in that of, being who we are. You take pride in being oppressor, being just like him. You need to seek to do your own thing. We have our own thing going on. It's no need to copy and try to be like, somebody else. Like I said earlier, a Chinese man would never celebrate Thanksgiving. He probably called the police on you for offending him like that. You know what I mean? You go to Chinatown, you don't see any English billboards. You don't see any English help wanted signs. Everything is in their language. And it should be the same thing for us. Like, you should damn near, if you a heathen, you got to get permission to even come in our communities. That's how it should be. You got to get permission to even walk up in here. You know what I mean? That's how it should be with us, but it's not. For us to take pride in who we are, we got to start coming back to, to our holy days, traditions, and culture. This is what we teach in the IHBK. All right. All right. So we're going to start right here and read a little bit of this article. I ain't going to read the whole article, about half of it, to kind of aware, some people of, what really went down on Thanksgiving, what Thanksgiving is really about. All right. So I'm going to stop my screen. I'm going to share this article. All right. Y'all see that right there? Who else was on posters like this? Black people. And also Hispanics. Indian land for sale, Negroes for sale, and etc. We all the same people. All right. This is the real story of Thanksgiving by Susan Bates. Most of us associate the holiday with happy pilgrims and Indians sent down to a big feast, and that did happen once. The story began in 1614 when a band of English soldiers, explorers, sailed home to England with a ship full of Patex Indians bound for slavery. So, like if I'm saying that word wrong, all right, they left behind smallpox, which virtually wiped out those who had escaped. So we all know about the smallpox, right? We all know about this. The oppressor does not bathe. And that's to this day. Like, I watched a video the other day of, two white people talking around, kind of like making fun of black people for using rags when we shower and stuff. And they don't bathe right. It's always been a dirty people. You know, so we all know about the smallpox who wiped out a lot of our brothers and sisters. Let's keep reading. By the time the Pilgrims arrived in Massachusetts Bay, they found only one living Patex Indian, a man named Squanto, who had survived slavery in England and knew their language. So this man, they brought him over to England in 1614. 6 years later, in 1620, he was the only one that belonged to his tribe, and he knew their language, of course, because of slavery. You know, we've all speak the same language of our oppressor. And I'm gonna stop right there. And that's one thing when I first came into the school or even in the world, I always wanted that. You know, it's kind of strange that blacks and Hispanics and Indians all speak the same language that our oppressor spoke. You know, you look at a white man, he speaks English. That's his language he created. You look at a Chinese man, he speaks Chinese. That's his language. You look at a Puerto Rican brother, he's speaking Spanish. From a spot called Spaniard, who was white, or the Haitians. You know, from the French was white people. You know, or from Jamaicans, British, which are white people. You know, we all speak the same tongue of our oppressors. And it just lets you know that them curses in the Bible in the 28th chapter, those are really real. You know, those are real, man. They correlate with us. So let's keep reading. He taught them to grow corn and to fish, and he negotiated a peace treaty between the Pilgrims and the Wampanoag Nation. At the end of the first year, the Pilgrims had held a great feast honoring Squanto and the Wampanoags. All right, so Squanto messed up. You know, he felt that, you know, he belonged with the English, with our oppressor, by making a peace treaty with them. You know, and that's when that was the first mistake he ever could make, trusting our oppressor. You know, when you start to get that spirit, you know, when you're around your oppressor all the time, you're around him all the time, he's being nice to you, whatever, making jokes. Look, man, I don't believe none of that. Treat the oppressor the same way he treat you. Just play the game. Hey, what's up, Jay? What's up, Don? Yada, 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 yada. You watched the game last night? Yada. You can do that. But in your mind, you got to know, man, he's a devil. You know what I'm saying? Don't get tricked out of your spot. Don't catch feelings for the devil. Don't start believing that he's really your friend, your friend. You know, we all got slavery. So we are around these people all day. You know, a lot of people outside of our education think we just constantly harassing white people. We just, you know what I mean, cussing them out everywhere, harming them. We don't harm anybody. In fact, we feed everybody. But we do know this man is a devil the Bible speaks about, and we treat him as such, all right? Squanto didn't do that. Let's keep reading. But as word spread in England about the paradise to be found in the New World, religious zealots called Puritans began arriving by a boatload, finding no fences around the land. They considered it to be a plebeian domain. Joined by British settlers, they seized the land, capturing young, strong natives for slaves and unaliving the rest. And that's who the oppressor is. They see something that's not theirs, and their first thought is taking it. They see people living on this land, and their first thought is unaliving and getting these men for slaves. That's who they are. That's how they think. That's how they move, and you can't change them. You understand? You can't change them. And Squanto, you know, he thought he could. Let's keep reading. But the Pequot Nation had not agreed to peace treaty. Squanto had negotiated, and they fought back. The Pequot War was one of the bloodiest Indian wars ever fought. So there were some brothers, you know, that didn't agree with the peace treaty Squanto made. And we all know that, yeah, there was a war between the Native Indians and the oppressor. And, you know, it was one of the bloodiest wars ever fought. Of course, we didn't win. Next paragraph. In 1637, near present day, in Grant, Connecticut, over 700 men, women, and children of the Pequot tribe had gathered for the annual Green Corn Festival, which is our Thanksgiving celebration. Now, this is what they tell you Thanksgiving is about, right? When Native Indian brothers got together with the English and Dutch soldiers, and they, you know, had a feast. That's what they tell you it's about. This is what they didn't tell you about it. Let's keep reading. In the pre-dawn hours, the sleeping Indians were surrounded by English and Dutch mercenaries who ordered them to come outside. Those who came out were shot or clubbed to death, while the terrified women and children who huddled inside the lone house were burned alive. The next day, the governor of the Massachusetts Bay Colony declared a day of Thanksgiving. They celebrated this. That's what Thanksgiving is about, celebrating what white people ancestors did in order to conquer this country. And that's why, you know, the oppressors celebrate it to this day. I don't give a damn what they tell you. They remember everything the ancestors did, except for you. They know why they eating turkey and dressing, because they honor their ancestors. They're thankful for what the British and the English did for them to have their lives they have right now. You know what I'm saying? That's why you read in Isaiah 14:21, you know what I'm saying, when I'm paraphrasing, of course, you know, when the Lord say, you know, slaughter to, you know, the children of their forefathers. You know, everybody, all of y'all gotta go, because y'all live great, you know, because of what your ancestors did to my ancestors. All right, let's keep reading. Cheered by their victory, the brave colonists and the Indian allies attacked village after village. Women and children over 14 were sold into slavery, while the rest were murdered. Buttloads with as many as 500 slaves regularly left the ports of New England. Bounties were paid for Indian scalps to encourage as many deaths as possible. So it wasn't just one massacre. They went to every single one. Every village, you know, destroyed that village. All right. The killers became more and more friends, with days of Thanksgiving, feasts being held after each successful massacre. Now, if you watch that video I had playing at the beginning of the class, you seen those Native Indian sisters explaining this, and she said the same exact thing. Everybody believes Thanksgiving was based off one massacre, and it wasn't. These devils ate a feast after every massacre on each village. So you got to think, man, every time they had to destroy this village, they had a Thanksgiving. To that one, to that one, to that one, to that one. Like clockwork. It wasn't just one day. George Washington finally suggested that only one day of Thanksgiving per year be set aside instead of celebrating each and every massacre. Damn. There you have it right there. So it was George Washington's idea just to have it. Hey, man, have it on this day. Y'all ain't got to celebrate after every massacre. Just do it on this one day. And that's when Abraham Lincoln declared Thanksgiving Day to be a legal national holiday during the Civil War. And that's a brief, you know, short summary of what Thanksgiving really is. You know, it was about our oppressor coming to destroy, you know, our Native Indian brothers, slaughtered them, you know, after each successful massacre, they ate dinner until Abraham Lincoln made it a legal national holiday. All right. So we're going to drop that. We're going to get some more scriptures. All right. So I'm going to start my screen. Let's go to Ecclesiastes chapter 7. Let's just start at, we're going to start at verse 7. I said, surely oppression maketh a wise man mad, and the gift destroyeth the heart. You understand? If you so angry and you so mad about what your oppressor do to you, why do you still do everything he tells you to do? This is why I said about, you know, not being serious. A lot of us think it's supposed to be some kind of physical war. No, ain't no physical war. It's a spiritual war. You know, we got to stop doing everything he taught us to do. And I'm telling you, when that happens, you know, our lives will change the next night over. You know, but if you so damn mad, you know, why are you celebrating Thanksgiving? You're not mad for real. You know, you just joking. You just talking. In the IHBK, we really do. We do stuff in here. We don't just run our mouths, you know what I'm saying, and complain all the time. We don't do that. We go on these streets and tell the white man he's the devil according to the Bible. You know, we don't follow his traditions or his culture. We do our own thing. All right, we do what the Lord told us to do. Let's follow him and keep our the laws, the statutes, and commandments, and all our high holy days. All right, let's get verse 13. Verse 13. Consider the work of God, for who can make that straight which he hath made crooked? See this heavy right here. Who can make that straight which he hath made crooked already? How the hell you gonna make Thanksgiving straight when the Lord already made it crooked? This is our problem right here with everything we celebrate in this country. You want to change America. You want to change history. You know, we just read how it came from slaughter of Native Indian brothers. We want to make it about coming together with a family and eating and just, you know, laughing it up and etc. No, it came from destruction. That's what it's always gonna be. From this time forth, since then and forever. It's not gonna change. Like, for example, 9/11. 9/11 was about, you know, America had terrorist groups come and knock down both of the Twin Towers. In 50 years, I doubt we're gonna start having dinner on 9/11. You see what I'm saying? We're not gonna be eating out on 9/11. Nobody's making turkeys on 9/11 because that's a day of mourning for America, right? Why is Thanksgiving not a day of mourning for us? If it came from slaughter of our brothers, everything you celebrate in this country is crooked. In everything. When you start reading about the origin of Christmas, what that really came from, it was a festival of Saturnalia, an orgy festival, where man was walking down the street butt naked and having sex with each other, so a woman, and exchanging gifts. Halloween, that's got a crazy origin to it. 4th of July, we were slaves on 4th of July. Everything America celebrates, it was made crooked in anything. Even Valentine's Day. You got to do your research. Stop just taking it in what the oppressor is giving you and then just running away with it. And now I'm going to say this example. I said this at camp, man. Look, imagine me. I come in your house and I unalive everybody in the house except you. And I make you watch me do it. And I go in your kitchen, call my family up, telling them to come over here and, you know, let's cook. In your kitchen, by the way. We cook this food, we eating. Are you gonna come sit down and eat with us after we done unalive your family in front of you, then cooked in your kitchen, invited our family to celebrate the big W, the victory? You gonna come sit down and eat with us? If you celebrate Thanksgiving, your answer should be yes. Yes, you will come and sit down with us, with them. You understand? That's how every nation sees us when we celebrate this day. And that's the reason they just step over us. They just step right over us. Because we don't have any integrity. We don't stand for anything. We don't take pride in anything, and we don't honor our ancestors. All right. Let's drop this right here. Let's get Psalms chapter 10 to verse 5. So this chapter right here in Psalms is strictly about wickedness of Esau, all right? So it's Psalms chapter 10 and verse 5, and it reads, his ways are always grievous. Thy judgments are far above out of his sight. As for all his enemies, he puffeth at them. You know what I'm saying? We can't change Esau either. You know what I'm saying? Esau was made crooked from the get-go, even from the inner womb. You know, we was fighting inside the womb, Esau and Jacob. You know, so from the get-go, in its truth, we know Esau's plot. And we know that he thinks he's above God. He thinks he above God. The same way Pharaoh thought he was above the Most High. You know, the same way the Most High spared Pharaoh to show him his power is the same way he's going to spare America to show America his power. He's going to make them the highest, nation on earth. Like they is right now. you know what I'm saying, above everybody, until the Most High come down and bring them down to show him his power. You understand? It says for all his enemies, he puffing on them. We all know World War III coming. We all know what's going to happen. But America ain't worried. They bigger than everybody. This is what they think. We're dealing with a very, very, very prideful people. The same way Pharaoh was. All right? It's a lock it. Let's get Psalms chapter 55 and verse 21. All right, this is Psalms chapter 55 and verse 21. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. You understand? The Native Indian brothers, you know, they were at peace with Esau. You know what I'm saying? But the white man, one thing he gonna do, he gonna break all his promises. He gonna break every single promise he's ever made. And we all seen that. The last election, the election before that, every election, they always promising us things and they never give it to us. And this is what they always been. They tell you what you want to hear. They tell you what sounds good. So to make you believe them, you know, to build some trust, to build some faith. The same with Native Indian man trusted Esau, we do. But what was in his heart? War is in his heart. His words were softened than oil, yet they were drawn with swords. We made treaties with these devils and they broke them. But if we would have followed the Lord, you never would have trusted these devils. And we never should. Don't but trust and believe anything they say. And it's the same spirit Christian pastors have to this day. You're not going to church to get told what to do. Nobody's going to church to get corrected. You know what I mean? No, you're not going to church to save lives. You're going to church to release some stress off of you. That's what you're going to do. You're going to church to laugh, you know what I'm saying, to feel good about yourself. You're going to entertain your demons, giving your in exchange of giving some money to your pastor. You know you're going to get that 20%, whatever y'all give them. And you're going to leave. You know, Christian church is just like it's an entertainment show. To me, it is a comedy show all in one. You know, you're not going to do anything for yourself. All you're doing is just destroying yourself more than what you already are. Christianity, it just makes you feel like you're a God, man. You know, anything you possibly could be going through, anything you think about, is nothing wrong with you. You're fine. God loves you. Pray about it. He's going to forgive you. Do what you want to do. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. You know what I'm saying? Like, I used to ask this all the time, man. What's a Christian? What's a Christian? Like, what God do you serve? How are you showing me that you serve any God when you do anything you want? You know what I'm saying? You don't have any morals. You don't have any standards. You don't have anything. How do I know what God you serve? I don't know. What do you do? You get high. You a whore. You a pimp. You live in the alternative lifestyle. You do all these certain things and tell me you love God. Y'all don't see how that's confusing. The Christian church is confusing. The Lord is not the author of confusion. You understand? Never trust and believe what a Christian pastor says or the oppressor. All right. Let's go to the Apocrypha. Let's get Ecclesiasticus chapter 12 and verse 10. All right, it's Ecclesiasticus chapter 12 and verse 10, and it reads, "Never trust thy enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is its wickedness." Never trust the white man. You understand? In the world, they say pray for your enemies. You know, keep your friends close and enemies closer, or whatever that means. The Lord straight up says, don't trust them. You know what I'm saying? When you see rust on iron, you ain't stopping that rust. It's gonna rust. You know what I'm saying? You ain't stopping it. That's the oppressor with his wickedness. As soon as you see a little bit of it, it's nothing you can do to stop that, because that's exactly who he is. Like, we gotta stop being so damn surprised about white supremacy. It's not surprising to us because we already know who we're going against. It's surprising in you because you love this man. You get your feelings hurt every single day and just continue to love him. We don't. We're angry, but we doing something about that angry. You're not. You just continuing to forgive, because that's what Christianity is all about. But see, the white man's Christianity, the oppressor Christianity, and not Christianity is two different things. How do I know that? Because look at the way the oppressor is living and look at how you live it. If you celebrate the same God that the oppressor celebrates, how come you don't have the same life he has? How comes when you get pulled over, the cop shoot you, unalive you? How come there were drugs put inside your community? How come there were Planned Parenthood, abortion clinics put inside your community and not in his community? If y'all both serve the same God, right? This is what I mean when I say if you're still a Christian in 2024, you're still a slave in 2024. You know what I'm saying? Because Christianity, you're not getting what the oppressor is getting. You're getting oppression. That's what Christianity is. It is mental oppression. All right? Salaki. Let's get we're gonna end it. Let's get Matthew chapter 12 and verse 46. And we're gonna end it with this scripture right here. Matthew 12 and 46. Right. This is Matthew chapter 12 and verse 46, and it reads, While he yet talked to the people, behold, his mother and his brother stood without, desiring to speak with him. See, I had talked about this early in class. I meant to get to it, but I forgot. So this is, we know, when his disciples told Christ that your mama and your brothers over here, and they want to talk to you. Verse 47, the one said unto him, Behold, thy mother and thy brother stand without, desiring to speak with thee. But he answered and said to him that told him, Who is my mother and who are my brothers? So Christ said, Who is my mama and who is my brother? And he stretched forth his hand toward his disciples and said, Behold, my mother and my brother. You know, understand, when you come into this school, you have a new family now. You got a new family. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to worry about the pressure of having to do certain things in the world no more. It's such a pressure to celebrate Thanksgiving, a pressure to celebrate your birthday, a pressure to celebrate anybody else's birthday, a pressure to celebrate Christmas. All this constant pressure when you don't even have the zeal to do any of this stuff. You just feel like you got to do it. There's so many brothers out here who just feel like they have to do these certain things, you know what I'm saying, to feel wanted by their family, feel loved by their family, sisters too. You know, the Christ said, look, the brothers that's with me doing this work of the Lord, y'all my real family. Y'all my real family. I don't give a damn about them. You understand? That's the same experience you got to have, you know, coming into this school, coming into this truth. All right. I know I said let's scripture. Let's get one more. Let's get 1 John 5 and 3. Just because. All right, this is 1 John chapter 5 and verse 3. For this is the love of God, that we keep his commandments, and his commandments are not grievous. So, you know, love. We talked about love earlier. Love in the Bible is following God's laws. Love is not a feeling, and it's not even a feeling in the world. So all that love, that stuff, it don't even make sense. In general, it don't. because you loving is not something you feel. You loving is something that you do. If somebody is stealing from you all the time, and they say, I love you, though, you're not going to believe them because they is stealing from you. How can you love somebody and you steal from them, right? How can you love God and disobey everything he's telling you to do? You know what I mean? His commandments are not grievous. They not hard. The church makes it seem like Christ was the only one that could keep the law. It's a damn lie because we keeping the law right now. Look at you. Look at your life right now. You changed your whole life over something you read in a book. You know how powerful that is? You changed your whole entire life. Looking at how you used to be, looking at you now is why Christ did what he did. And that's the love of God. That love of God, man, look, that for the Lord is powerful. It's nothing nobody can do, tell you, do to you to make you go back to your old life because you now have the fear of God. That fear of God is what's keeping you from not getting high. It's from keeping you from not sinning. That right there. That's why Christ did what he did, man, to give us that second opportunity to change our lives. Now you got that second opportunity. Don't mess it up. You know what I'm saying? Don't mess it up. The greatest thing about this is nobody has a gun in your head telling you, hey, don't celebrate Thanksgiving. Nobody has a gun in your head telling you to not eat pork. Nobody has a gun in your head telling you to keep these high holidays. You're doing it by yourself because you have to fear the Most High. The law has put his laws in your inner parts, like it says in Jeremiah, the 31st chapter. You know what I'm saying? You have to love God. You're going to love God by showing him you love him by doing what he tells you to do. That's the love of God. All right. With that, we got the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge. Started out of 1 West, 121st Street, Harlem, New York. Under commanding Junior Yohana. That's my time. Shalom, Israel.